Let's do it.
Hey, kids, what time is it?
The alarm clock screams and there's a cat butt in my face. I don't want to get up, face the human race. I take a shower, I take a pee, I drink some coffee, watch some TV. But nothing seems to keep my eyes open, nothing seems to get my blood flowing. Called up a friend of mine and asked what lights a fire under your behind. He says he spells relief, R-A-Y-L-Y-T-L-E. Have no fear, the gang's all here, so clean out your ears for the morning disaster. They got gas and brass and testes and rock and roll piled up to the rafters. They're really immature and there's no cure, but they'll be your favorite broadcasters. And it's Ray Lytle's morning disaster. And it's Ray Lytle's morning disaster. I took my friend's advice to heart. I bought myself an FM radio. Now every weekday starts with a visit from the morning disaster show. And now I spell relief, R-A-Y-L-Y-T-L-E. Have no fear, the gang's all here, so clean out your ears for the morning disaster. They got gas and breast and testes and rock and roll piled up to the rafters. They're really immature, but there's no cure. But they'll be your favorite podcasters. And it's Ray Lytle's morning disaster. And it's Ray Lytle's morning disaster.
Oh, yes. We are here. Good morning, everybody. It's Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster. I'm Ray, along with America's sweetheart, Nikki. She's back, everybody. How you doing, Nikki?
I'm here.
Well, they did you get fixed up?
Nah,
Eh,
I could use another day.
I like how you go.
I could use another day.
I'm sorry to hear that. So you went in for, you had a bump or something in your throat, right?
I had a mass in my
A
throat.
mass in your throat. So you went in because they were going to remove it and do a biopsy, right?
Well, they were going to look at it.
I mean, that was the whole point of you going into this thing the other day. And
Yeah.
they went in, and what did they do?
Nothing, because it was disappeared.
There was no mass in your throat.
No.
Hmm.
So it was mystery.
So
They were baffled.
so that they don't even know what,
No.
they just think it disappeared.
Yeah.
Maybe you
They don't. There's nothing they can do.
maybe
There's
you,
nothing there.
maybe you ate a particularly sharp Dorito that
I ate razor blades, Ray. That's what I did.
maybe it cut it and you swallowed it, for all you know. Who knows, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something could have happened to where the mass was swallowed.
Yeah.
Your swallowing ability, you know.
Last week was just craziness.
Yeah. Well, at least you're, you know, at least you're back with us,
Yeah.
because it was very it did you hear what happened when you were gone? Rocky came to the show.
Yeah, I heard that.
You know, and back in the disaster days when you interned for me, Rocky was the producer. So
Mm-hmm.
I know you guys were close. You and Rocky were pretty good friends, right?
Yeah.
Until
Well, a game of Monopoly, but yeah.
Wait, wait a minute. Did you say until a game of Monopoly?
Yes.
Because you and Rocky were pretty close. I do remember that.
Yeah.
You guys would hang out all the time. What did you mean until a game of Monopoly?
So he's a cheater.
And
He's a cheater at Monopoly.
then what? You is that why you disappeared?
I threw all my stuff in the middle of the board
for
and left,
heaven's sakes.
crying.
Wait a minute. You and Rocky, when you worked for me during the Morning Disaster,
Mm-hmm.
Rocky was a producer, which meant he was your immediate supervisor. That's who,
Mhm.
when you wrote the comedy and produced the comedy, you worked together fantastic. You did some amazing stuff that we still play today.
Yeah.
And you're saying there was a game of Monopoly. The thing that ended this relationship was a game of Monopoly.
Pretty much.
What happened?
He's stubborn. I'm
Oh,
stubborn.
for God's sakes. Over a game of Monopoly?
Yeah, I don't think we talked for like a year after
Oh,
that.
for heaven's sakes. Nick, are you listening to this?
I just hopped on, and I believe marriages have ended over games of Monopoly.
No, I don't think. No, not. It's a game of Monopoly. It doesn't matter.
Yes, it matters.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. So you
Especially
stop
when they're cheating.
you stop talking to him over a game of Monopoly. You're claiming he cheated.
Well,
Yeah,
who
he
plays
was
that game right to
cheating.
begin with?
How is he cheating?
Him and Schmo.
They were
They
cheating.
were trading stuff back and forth, and I was the odd man out. So why even bother playing?
This is insane. And you were so angry about this cheating in Monopoly that you guys were really close. You were really good friends.
Oh, we've made up since then, but we didn't talk for a year.
This is insane. I mean, what's wrong with you?
Nothing was ever the same after that.
Oh, for goodness sake. So you're claiming that after you guys started talking again,
She'll forgive but not forget.
it was still not the same.
He was living in St. Louis at that time by the
Oh,
time we
for
made up.
Goodness sakes. Oh my! How much were you guys? I thought you guys would just get together and smoke pot and play games. Pot is not supposed to make one violent.
I didn't smoke the pot.
What were you? Were you drinking?
No, I was a good girl back then.
Who would get?
I was still in. This is when I was still in college.
Who would be so angry that they throw a board game in the middle
I
of the
didn't
room?
throw the game. I just threw all my stuff in free parking.
It's very bizarre.
Well, I wanted to play a game when there's no point in playing.
And who? I'm guessing that you were the one that reached out to him when you guys worked it out.
Oh, yeah.
Well, of course, because he's probably thinking she's a lunatic.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't want to reach out first. God knows what she'll do. I don't blame him. I can't wait till he's on. When he's on, I'm going to bring this back up because he's not on yet. This is fantastic. So you and Rocky stopped talking, and this great
For a
connection,
year.
this great connection you guys had, you guys were creating brilliance. It was over a game of Monopoly.
Yeah.
Oh, you need counseling. It could have been the best
Can
gift,
you
best gift anyone could have
imagine
given
any
you.
other way to end that friendship?
No, well, I can imagine ways where there was no ending of the friendship. I mean, for heaven's sakes.
I still consider him a friend.
Oh, over a game of Monopoly. You are unbelievable. I can guarantee you that no one else in that game even cared. I mean, what does it
They
matter?
were laughing at me.
Of course, of course they were.
They were high and they were laughing at me.
And then you got upset. You got upset because they were laughing.
Mm-hmm.
You're not seeing now how crazy this was?
No.
I don't understand why you can't figure out how insane this whole thing
We
sounds.
have Brent in the chat room that's saying that he almost broke up with a girlfriend over a game of Risk.
Well, I can't condone his insanity either, just like I'm not condoning yours. I
Yeah,
mean,
but the game of Risk takes like 25 days.
I will say
Well, same as Monopoly.
Monopoly is how many hours into the game were you?
Only an hour at least.
Mm.
Hour and a half.
Everyone rolled at least once.
I can't see being that upset during a board game.
I did. I was a little high strung back then.
Yeah, back then you sound like you were really high strung.
Oh yeah.
It sounds like you might have had some anger problems back then.
Yes, I did.
Sure sounds
I
like
still do, but not like I did.
sounds like back then there were some anger issues. I'm glad you're much more sane now. I mean, back then must have been
No issues now.
some crazy times. I want to welcome to the show. I've got a story. You guys are going to hear this. I also want to welcome to the show Wes. How you doing, Wes?
Hey, good, Ray. How are you?
Wes is, if you guys might remember, Wes worked way back on WQLZ with us, and then when I did Disaster Radio in 2007, he was on with Jimmy and I, and also did his own show as well on Disaster Radio. So here is how this all came about. I had asked when Nick was going to be gone to Minneapolis, I had asked, I sent Wes a message saying, hey, if you want to fill in, I think I sent it on Facebook or something. I said, if you want to fill in, let me know. And I can, you can join us on the show. And he never got back to me. But he had sent me his phone number. And for some reason, I had put his phone number in my phone as Nick. So Nick and I were talking. Friday, and I'm talking to a friend of mine, and we're trying to work out some kind of deal to do something that could be really good for the show. We're trying to work out and I'm not going to get into all the details, but I got a friend of mine. We're trying to work out where we give them something and they give us something, and so I want to talk to Nick about it because it would require Nick and I to do some stuff. And so I go to Nick and I say on Facebook, I'm like, hey, you got time for a phone call? And he's like, yeah, just go ahead and call me. Because I knew you were at work, right, Nick, when I sent that to you?
Yeah. I just got done with lunch, but
yeah, because I go, hey, when's your lunch? Because I was going to call him over lunch. And he goes, I just got done. I said, well, can you take a phone call? And he goes, yeah, send me a call. So I go to call Nick, and I hit Nick on my phone and call, and I start talking to someone. And I reveal the entire
You were
entire
senile
evil
as the
scheme.
day is long.
I reveal the entire plan. I reveal all my innermost secrets and thoughts about this show to Wes.
I'm glad you don't have national secrets.
Well, I want to say this to Wes. He was pretty calm about it. I mean, he was like, cool, but at the same time, he could have been like, holy shit, what? And he wasn't. He was actually kind of cool. And then this is how bad and stupid I am. I didn't realize I wasn't talking to Nick until I was talking to Wes, and I go, well, when you go live with us in the morning, you'll have to blah, blah, blah. And he goes, oh, well, all I've got's that shitty laptop. Was that what you said, Wes? There was a shitty laptop or whatever?
Yeah, just a really bad camera, and
Yeah.
I didn't know how good the audio would be. But I really have to put your mental health into question at this point. Because me and Nick sound nothing alike, and we had a good, 10-minute conversation.
Oh, here's what I was thinking. I was like,
Well, here's the thing. It's because we're white and we all look alike.
Oh, okay. Okay.
thank you, Nick. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Yes, you guys all look alike to me. I'm sorry. No, but in all seriousness, the only time I talk to Nick is on the air. We talk on the air every single day, and he talked through a microphone. It's all processed and stuff. So
Oh.
I was when I was talking to you, Wes, you know, Nick sounds different on the phone is all I was thinking. And then when you said you had this shitty laptop, you said my camera's shitty, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, Nick doesn't have any camera problems. And I'm like, when would he use a shitty laptop? And I finally figured out, I go, wait a minute, this isn't Nick. And I actually think I said, who is this or whatever?
You screamed and then you hung up the phone.
No. Wes, how
I heard nothing.
How did I do that?
You didn't voice your concern at all during the call. You just kept rolling. You just kept spilling the beans, and I just kept. I don't know. I didn't figure it out either, though. So what am I saying?
So you didn't know that I thought I was talking to someone else?
No, not until the very end.
And then I go,
when we both figured it out together, like a couple of idiots.
I go, who is this? And he goes, it's Wes. And I'm like, oh shit, I thought you were Nick.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You revealed the whole pyramid scheme to me and didn't even know it.
Oh my God. And I was thinking, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe
I'm still not selling Amway.
I'm like, I still can't believe I told him. So I go to call Nick. Eventually I get on Facebook and I'm like, hey, I go, Nick goes, I thought you were going to call me. And I'm like, I know I've been busy. I was called the wrong person.
Sorry, I called the wrong white guy.
Right. All the wrong gringo.
So eventually I call Nick and I go, okay, Nick, I'm going to tell you something that only my wife and Wes, only two people know this, my wife and Wes. And my wife doesn't know
That's
all.
a hell of a club to be in.
And Nick goes, who the hell is Wes? So I go to tell Nick everything. And by the way, Nick's like, he goes, I'm fine, with it. I'm fine with it. That's cool. And then he didn't even question the fact that I go, oh, by the way, Wes will be joining the show on Monday. So
I don't question anything.
that's how
We learned not to question anything.
so Wes is finally on the show.
I don't question Ray Lytle's technical disaster.
I had no idea I wasn't talking to Nick. Which is
All I know is I am never telling you anything personal about myself. Because who knows who you'll call and explain it all to.
it was crazy.
Well, that's a given.
But in all seriousness,
Why you lie on the phone?
in all honesty, you guys know. Wes, Nick, it's pretty cool, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I tried to call Doran, but I must have called her. She was probably at a baseball game or cutting hair or doing whatever was going on.
You called the Nigerian prince and you ended up
No.
sending the money.
No, I tried to call Doran on I think it was Saturday afternoon or whatever time it was, to tell her. So she's the only one that I haven't, had her weigh in. I just wanted to make sure everybody was cool with it before I, made everything put it all out there, which is crazy. And it was just what is this? Hold on. It was nutty. When all this stuff was going on. So, and that's the reason that Wes is with us today. Not because I had invited Wes before to to be on the show, and he just never got back to me. But I had invited him before, and then finally we had a conversation on Friday. Of course, I didn't know I was talking to him, but that's why he's here today. So, hello, Wes. It is good to have you.
Hello, Ray.
I see that Doran has also logged in. Hello, Doran.
Oh, good morning.
How are you? I just said I was trying to call you on like Saturday. What was going on?
You know what? I don't know where my phone was for half the day on Saturday, to be honest. And then when I finally saw that you called, it was way too late to call you. So, yeah. But yeah, welcome, Wes.
Hey, Doran.
Did your kid have ball games or something this weekend?
Actually, no. We had practices, but only because the team we were supposed to have a doubleheader against, they didn't have enough kids.
Really?
Our season was originally supposed to end. The last tournament was supposed to be 4th of July weekend. So a majority of families planned vacations for the week right after to take a week off. And I know that's exactly what happened to that poor team. But no, and then I entertained yesterday a little bit. And yeah, it's just been a bit of a whirlwind. So.
I'm sure she had people over at her pool. It's all right. I know who wasn't invited. That's okay.
Just the boyfriend's parents, so it wasn't.
I know who wasn't invited. That's all right.
Well, we definitely have to get something planned. I'm actually hired someone to keep up with my yard and get caught up on the landscaping because I've just come to the conclusion I'm one person and I can't take care of all of this by myself. So once it all gets up to my idea of par, we're gonna plan something out here for everybody. Maybe have a little pool party, have some listeners. It'll be fun.
Good for you. Oh, that'd be awesome if we could do a pool party.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me, I got a couple things I want to jump on. Did you guys see how far along that Portillo's is?
Oh my God, yes.
It's freaking crazy. They have already torn down that old Walgreens at Lindbergh and Route 4. They've torn it down.
Yeah, within a couple of days. It's
Yeah.
like I thought we were just talking about it, on Thursday or something like that?
Yeah, I think we were talking about it Thursday, and Wednesday and Thursday we talked about it.
Yeah.
And then I want to say Friday or Saturday, it was in the newspaper.
Saturday, yeah.
It was in the newspaper. I got a newspaper link. And by the way, happy belated birthday to Bernie Schoenberg. It was his birthday a couple weeks ago. Anyway, they tore down that Walgreens. They're putting up the new Portillo's. They have already torn it down, or it's almost all the way down. Now they're doing the whole process of, you got to move it or whatever, like all the garbage. And they've started doing it. And then Portillo's announced that the original plan was for it to be open like next June. They announced that they moved up production. I don't know if it was because of COVID or what, or if it's cheaper or how it's going. But they've said now that the way that it's all coming together, and I think they were using Chicago time. And I think when they were planning out, they were figuring, all right, what's it taking to build one in Chicago or to build one in Peoria or Champaign or whatever, and they were taking under consideration how we do things here in Springfield. That's what I think. They announced that the Portillo's will be open in 2020.
That's weird. That's going to be the third thing in that spot that's been torn down and built.
I'm telling you, it's a haunted Indian burial ground. Nothing survives on that corner.
I bet this one will be successful.
Congratulations to the future traffic jam.
No, it's there will be traffic jam because people will be wanting to get into.
Was it anything before it was Hardee's?
You can get a hot dog.
It was a Hardee's in the early 90s.
That was what it was.
Yeah, but was it anything before that?
Corn.
No.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
It was corn.
When I first worked in Springfield was 1989. 87. God, I'm so old. And there was a Fuddruckers or something
Oh, that
over in that
that-
area.
That's
Yeah.
farther down.
That might have been
That
over.
was,
that,
that's where that little strip mall with the vitamin shop and T-Mobile and that stuff was.
is that? I don't. That was down near.
That's where Fuddruckers was.
Yeah, Fuddruckers was right there on the corner, and just right across from Best Buy. I think, something
Okay,
like
all right. I know.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. All right, yeah.
that little short
Which became
street.
like the pasta house also.
So that was
Yeah.
that was also the pasta house. Yeah.
Mhm.
So they tore down that Hardee's and they built a Walgreens in the late 90s or whatever. Now the Walgreens is gone. That Portillo's is coming up, man. God, I love Portillo's. I am right. Oh my God. I'm craving a Portillo's Chicago dog.
I like their beef.
I bet you do.
Nikki likes to be.
What do you get? The big beef?
Yes, you do.
I get the big beef, baby.
Just like this. She used to have a big
Hot
mass.
and juicy, the better.
She used to have a big
I
mass.
like it moist.
She had a big mass until she swallowed it. Good old Nikki. Yeah, so the Portillo's is going up quicker. I guess that means November, December, or whatever, but all I know is I'm excited.
Oh, that's going to be such a mess because that's going to be high time Christmas shopping season and everything
Yeah.
else out there. Oh,
That's a great time to get a Portillo's. Nothing says Christmas. Nothing says Christmas like Portillo's.
Like a hot wiener.
I wish they were. I wish they were open now. That's fantastic. Little Portillo's action. That'll be exciting. So anyway, that was big news, right? Them announcing they moved that up.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
And if you drive by there, you'll see what I'm talking about. They've started tearing that Walgreens down, and literally, I don't know if they pulled out one thing or whatever and everything came down or what, but obviously the demolition's going a lot quicker than they thought. So it won't be long before you can get your hot beef injections at Portillo's or get whatever you want.
Is it completely torn down now?
No, not yet, but it's getting close. I mean, that,
like the last big, like this wall in the south was all that was left when I saw it last.
they might. I mean, it might today might be the day. I don't know, but yeah,
Because I ate over there at Pie's the Limit 2 weeks ago, and there was no indication that anybody had done anything. So that's pretty fast.
yeah, that's what I mean. They started, Wes. They
Last week.
started tearing it down.
Yeah.
They started tearing it down on like Tuesday or Wednesday of last week, and by Friday it was almost gone. And by the way, you mentioned Pie's the Limit over there. Did you see this? Pie's the Limit is now gone.
Both of them?
Yeah, when I
No,
yeah
just
when I
it's
ate
still on
there, it was
MacArthur.
like 2 Sundays ago,
Yeah.
and they told me that Wednesday was their last day open.
Yeah,
Oh, it's so sad.
they closed. The
I
one at
love
MacArthur's
that
still open.
place.
MacArthur's still open, but they're closing
Oh, okay.
the one in front of Target or whatever. The one that used to be, that was a Perkins.
Was
Yeah.
that what it was? Okay.
Yeah,
Actually, there's a Perkins here.
that Perkins was pretty good. I told the story last week. I went to that Perkins one time. I saw Nikki. She was hammered.
Pretty much.
She was with some friend and a bunch of shady looking
It was
guys.
a bridal party. It was a bridesmaid.
Why did you have
night
why were
before
those
then.
shady looking guys with you then? If it was a bride's party,
No, we didn't have any guys with us.
there were shady looking guys hanging
It
around
was
you.
all girls.
They
Well,
were
there might have been some
hammered.
rough
Seven
looking
of us.
girls then.
They were hammered, and Jimmy was with me. And it was me and Jimmy and the Itchy Pickles, right?
Yeah.
Because Jimmy goes, "Hey, would you be offended if I banged one of our old interns?"
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh, gosh.
I go, "What are you talking about?" Hey, I just want to clear it. He wanted to clear permission, Nikki.
Yeah.
Want to make sure I was cool when if he banged any old interns. And the only one that was the only intern there was you. There was nobody else.
Yeah.
That's who he was.
He was talking about Buffy.
That's who he was talking. No, Buffy wasn't there. All he was talking about was you that night. I remember Jimmy getting an eclair, and then he was eating the eclair in some fashion.
I'm sure.
In some fashion, he was licking the eclair.
Oh, of course he was.
He's like, "Hey, you think they're looking at me?" To where in his mind, all the girls were looking at him eating an eclair and deciding that they would want him to, give them cunnilingus or whatever. That's what was going on in his mind. Good old Jim.
Good old Jimmy.
By the way, we are the Morning Disaster. You can listen to us. You can listen to us only if you want on either the app, which is available through Android, or you can go to morningdisaster.net, or go to Alexa and say, Alexa, listen to Morning Disaster Network, and it would play. You can do it that way as well. Or you can watch us on Facebook right now. At Facebook video, it's running. Will be available later on YouTube and so on and so forth. We are soon going to be on Apple. But I got to tell you guys, I'm dealing with Apple. They're such a pain in the ass. Does anyone have an Apple phone?
I do.
No.
Search, go to the Apple store and search Morning Disaster. Just in case a miracle happened. I'm sure it's not there, but I got to tell you guys. Nick, did I tell you this no, I don't think it happened yet when we had talked. But I had finally gotten everything done and everything taken care of to where I could submit to the Apple store, and I did that on Thursday, I think. Wednesday or Thursday, I submitted it to the Apple store. And I was told from Apple then that we would be live on the Apple store within 3 days. Okay?
Okay.
So then they come at me and they start talking about, by the way, the logo is the one that says Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster. All right. So Apple questions the ownership of Morning Disaster. This is the holdup. This is the holdup. Apple says we need we need proof of ownership of the Morning Disaster. And I'm like, what do you need proof of? I said,
Proof of us? Really?
they said we need to know that that you own this entity. And I go, what entity? It's a radio show. I go, it's Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster is owned by Ray Lytle.
Which is me.
And
You are Ray Lytle.
and I didn't feel I needed to say that because, it was obvious to me. And they come back and like, why does this affect you? And I go, because my name's Ray Lytle. So I swear to God, I'm going round and round with them.
No results.
I go,
for Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster.
Yeah, and I go, wait a minute.
Crazy.
I go, listen. What do you think is going on here? I go, this is a radio show. It's audio of a radio program. It's an internet stream. It's a streaming show and podcast. It's very clear. It's an entity that's just entertainment. And they're treating me like I'm a store or something that's selling socks. I don't know what it is. They want proof of ownership. And I go, what are you talking about? No. I'm like, just, for goodness sakes, just, just put it live. So still, there's issues with Apple. So, and then I submitted again. All right. I submitted again to the Apple Store on Saturday because that's when all these problems came up. And I swear to God, I literally, I just cannot take it anymore. They've got me at the end of my rope.
Oh boy.
So, yeah, hopefully that'll be taken care of today.
Well, I did a search on it, and it just says no results.
Of course not, because it's not. There's no way it's live. They can't see. They can't see the app because it's up their ass. Their heads are up their ass. So they would not be able to see it. But as an entity, it's hard to deal with Apple. I just want to say when I put up the Android app is very easy. They said, "Oh, Morning Disaster." They go, "Oh, you're an internet stream." I go, "Yeah." They go, "Oh, cool. It'll be ready tomorrow." I'm like, "Oh, awesome." With Apple, I had to pay all of this money. I mean, don't get me wrong. You had to pay money to get on Google Play as well, but you pay the money, and then they basically go, "All right, thanks. It'll be live tomorrow." That was it.
And that's it. Very simple.
With Apple, it's like, okay, you got to pay all this money. Then they come back to you. Oh, I'm sorry. You're going to have to pay this much more. So it ends up costing about $300 more than I was expecting. Okay.
Wow.
Of which, by the way, it took me forever just to raise the initial amount. And then I had to end up out of my own pocket. Thank God I got an unemployment check last week. I had to pay another, $300 to get to because I was like, at least I'll get the app at least it'll be live, by Sunday or Monday. And I was like, at least we'll get it live. And then after I pay all the money and do everything, and I was like, well, at least, so my anger was tempered by me saying, at least it will be, at least it'll be live. Then they come back at me with this ownership shit, and that's what's holding it all up. And I'm like, so I'm glad I paid all that money.
Oh, yeah. Lovely.
And you guys waited till I paid. Thanks so much for waiting until I paid the second amount before you told me there was problems. I really appreciate that.
I need to start my own app store.
Dude, it's insane.
That's quite a racket.
So I don't know what they need. And by the way, I have owned the Morning Disaster since 1996. Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster is owned by me. In fact, in my contracts with Midwest Family, which is where the Morning Disaster originally aired, we actually put language in to show that I owned any of the material that aired on the show, and also to show that I owned the show. And that was during the Tom Kushak years when all that stuff was ironed out. So that was what, 96 when that stuff happened? 97?
Yeah, 96, 97 at the latest.
Yeah. So I've owned it for that long, and I'm like, so what do you want me to do? I got to bring up those old contracts and show all the, I have an EIN number somewhere. I don't know if they just want me to provide that or what. So that they're not really telling me how I can show them that that I own it.
Just send a link to the webpage.
Well, part of
Or give
part of my
them a
conversation
link to download the Android app.
part of my conversation was I go, well, it's Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster. I go,
Hosted by me.
is there another dipshit out there named Ray Lytle? Who else would own Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster except Ray Lytle? I don't know, sir. This might be a question that we'll have to ask our full-time staff or whatever. They're in Monday.
Ugh, of course.
I'm like, son of a bitch.
There's probably so many
Did you
other.
tell 'em how
morning
easy it was
disasters,
through
like
Google?
Kevin Davis's Morning Disaster.
You're right, Wes. I should have just said. I should have just said. By the way, can I point out when I put it on the Android store, all it took was them going, "Oh, cool! You're doing an internet stream. That's awesome. And it was on.
Just like that.
It was unbelievable. It's just, it's
Their
just
workers have
insane.
suicide nets outside of their building. What do you expect?
Do they really?
That is a good point. That's a very good point.
It's
What?
dealing
Oh
with
my
Apple. I'm
God.
telling you, dealing with Apple is a handful. They'll drive you insane. Anyone who's ever tried to get an app through, I'm sure you know. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And then some people I've talked to, they said that there are secrets to getting apps on with Apple that, you know, but I don't know any of these secrets. You know,
No one's sharing the secrets.
no, because I've never had to deal with it before. I've never, you know, dealt with them in this regard. I don't, you know. All I know is I'm going through it now, and it's very stressful. So hopefully it'll hit the Apple Store soon, and you guys can
Fingers
download
crossed.
it. I really want, you know. Well, I got to be honest. I'll shoot straight. I'm excited about the Apple phone, about the app being live. However, when the Android app went live, the amount of listeners who just listen to the stream, because we have different listeners to this show, okay? We have people that listen to the show live on the stream, which is great. And then we have people who will only watch the show.
True.
We have people that will only go to Facebook and watch us live. They don't watch it on YouTube or anything like that. They just watch the show live. By the way, the only people that watch it on YouTube are people that have the app, but and that's if they just want to watch something that they've heard. But since we put the app out for Android, the amount of listeners who are listening to just the audio has increased, okay? And the amount of people who download the podcast has also increased. So as excited as I am about getting on Apple, I won't lie, I'm a little worried that when it first goes live on for iPhone, that the numbers will increase to the point of it will overload. And you guys know when we first started, we went through this.
Oh
When
my
we first
gosh,
started,
yeah.
I didn't buy enough concurrent streaming, and people had problem listening to just the show because there wasn't enough streams. So I increased that, and then I had to increase again. So we've increased like 4 times. So I'm preparing myself to have to do it again once the app comes out. But I'm convinced now the app may never come out because Apple's a bunch of dickheads and just dealing. Even though they made me pay all this money, dealing with them has been, you know.
You may take all your money and throw it in free parking.
It's crazy. It is nuts. But hopefully we'll be, you know, hopefully it'll all be coming together soon. And by the way, I'm not complaining. I hope there's no one out there going, oh, I'll help you, Ray. I just won't listen to. No. Please don't do that. No. What you're doing is fine. Like Brett says, I download the podcast every day, even though I watch you guys on Facebook. No, that's fine. That's fine. The podcast thing has no cost whatsoever. So that's fine. Do what you got to do, guys. That's, you know, don't change your listening habits to appease any of these problems I talk about. But
Is there any way you could video call them and eat an eclair in front of them? Maybe that would entice them.
Oh my God.
I'll eat it sexy. Hey, Ray, I think I'm going to bang one of our old interns. Yeah. Hey, Nikki, did he end up with any of those girls that night?
No.
I just remember.
No.
No.
I just remember.
Come on.
Good old Jimmy.
You know, I've met someone recently. He looks like him, he sounds like him, and he acts like him.
What? You met
Yes.
someone who
Yeah,
looks
he's
and sounds like
he's
Jim?
one of the parents of one of the players on my kids' team, and he has a nickname of Hollywood for a very good reason. I think we're gonna have to I'm gonna have to introduce you to him because he is a character.
He calls
Yeah,
himself Hollywood?
Yeah, it's his nickname. It's his nickname.
Oh,
He's a professional poker player. He usually like takes off and goes out to Vegas and stays out there for a few days and
he's a
the way
professional
he
poker
talks-
player.
Yep, and then he's a contractor when he's back here living in Springfield. So he says he's a professional poker player,
Yeah.
and yeah, you just never know what's going to come out of this guy's mouth. Like we had a big 4th of July, like parents and kids swim party and fireworks and whatnot, and we have a parent group chat. And at 7 o'clock the next morning, he was taking pictures of weed and a rolled joint and said, "I ran out of cigarettes, LOL." Every parent on the entire team can see this picture. And I went, "Hollywood, go back to bed." I'm like, what the hell? So, yeah, but he's got the kind of stringy, kind of bleached out, hair, and wears rocker blue jeans and has that voice, and he's something else. I just like, God, you remind me of somebody. And he goes, "Is it Jim the photographer? I get that all the time. That and Billy Idol, but I'm too short." I'm like, oh my God.
So people tell this guy all the time, they say, "You know who you remind me of?"
Yeah, well, our listeners are like, I get that all the time. I get it all the time, and he's a dandy.
How insane.
He's a dandy.
That must be rough going through life with people telling you you remind them of Jim the photographer.
Right.
By the way,
He's
Terry
actually hung out with him before.
Terry in the chat room says, "Who is this Nikki chick?" Oh, Terry, she is this. She's a member of the show who had a mass in her throat that she may have swallowed.
Unbelievable.
We think a Dorito. We think a Dorito perhaps cut the mass. Hey, Doran, you should get that guy. We should get that guy on the show.
Yeah. I think I was gonna run that past you, but I think definitely, because once you see him, you're gonna. It's eerie.
Right? We should see if
eerie.
if he does look and sound like Jim the photographer.
Yeah.
Will he? TJ says, "Will he willingly launch fireworks out of his ass?"
I don't know. But some of the things that came out of his mouth, it takes a lot to get my jaw to drop and be like, really? I think it was just because of the setting we were in. It was just a bunch of parents, and we were all, this first time we all really hung out and got to talk to each other because we weren't at a game.
Does this guy know that you knew Jim the photographer?
Yeah. When I said who I was, I said, well, everybody knows me as, my son's, Ledger's mom.
Yeah.
And then when he's like, wait, he goes, "You're that Doran." I get that all the time. I told you I got that the other day when I went to the pool store. And I said, he's like, "Oh my God, I used to hang out with Jimmy and everybody thought, we were related." And I'm like, I can see that. I could definitely see that. Yeah, especially since he posted a picture of, bud and a rolled joint the next morning
Well,
after, on the parent chat. On the parent chat. "Ran out of smokes, wake and bake." I'm like, go back to bed. Oh my God.
Well, and he's a professional poker player. Jimmy was a poker player.
Yeah. He was.
Oh yeah, Jimmy played poker a lot. That's pretty much how he took care of himself.
Oh my God, that's the way this guy pretty much supports himself.
He was playing poker after in between the ending of Morning Disaster, because Jim was off the Morning Disaster show before it ended.
Mm-hmm.
He was after he blew his ass up. And then Jimmy and I were still friends, but he was having problems with the corporation, that owned the radio station.
Mm-hmm.
And then he came back and started working with me again when we did Disaster Radio. But he was playing poker. That's how he kept himself going and made money to live, was playing poker.
The parallels uncanny.
Yeah.
It
So
really is.
I'd like to meet this guy and see if he does remind me of, you know.
If we can't work it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say he was shorter than Jimmy?
He might be.
Yeah,
about the
because
same
Jimmy
size.
Jimmy was 5. What do you think, Wes?
5'2",
5'2", maybe 5'1"?
5'2", yeah,
Yeah,
like
he was
very
short.
short.
This guy might be a little bit taller. Maybe 5'5", maybe.
Hey, I bet Nick knows this. What's the average height of a man?
5'9".
See, I assumed that was because Nick seems to know all these ridiculous statistics, and I was just, if you don't know, that's cool. But I was just putting it out there because that's usually the type of stuff that Nick knows off the top of his head.
I'm really good at guessing. But
Yeah,
Well, you're close because it's 5'6".
that's a man's average
see,
height.
and that was my gut guess, and I went, no,
Wow.
there's no way it's 5'6".
Yeah, male average height is 5'6", and I think human says human right here. Average height for men in
I
the
think
US.
I think it's a little bit taller in the U.S. versus worldwide.
Yeah, do U.S. average. Yeah, because they're taking all the for global stats. They'll take all over the world.
All right, here.
5'9".
Is it 5'9"?
Which is exactly what Nick.
Oh my God.
So Nick was right.
Hot damn.
Wow.
Oh.
Hey, any other
Do
guys?
it again.
Any other guys on this? I used to be 5'11". There's no way I gotta be. I think I'm 5'10". I think I'm shrinking.
It happens.
Oh, I know I'm shrinking.
Really? So I'm not crazy.
No, you're not. Not at all.
As I'm getting older, I'm convinced I'm shrinking.
Well, yeah, because we get compression in our disc and our joints, and
Yeah.
our spine's compact, and gravity's not our friend, and it's even worse for people like me in a profession where I'm on my feet all the time. My feet have grown almost 2 full sizes since I started cutting hair.
So I'm not crazy. 'Cause I thought
You're not crazy.
I'm 50 and I'm only 5'9".
Yeah, I always used to pass for 5'8" when I used to do modeling gigs and stuff like that. That was what was on my comp
Yeah,
card.
I know
And
you're tall.
Last time I went to the doctor, I was only 5'6.5". So
Wow. Yeah, but I think I'm shrinking. So Nick got it.
nailed it.
Just
Guessed
guessing, it is 5'9". That's a man's average in the United States. Well, I used to be taller than the average. Now I don't know. I think I'm right there.
You think you're average?
I think I'm convinced I'm shrinking. What's a man's penis size? What's penis size average? Somebody let me know that. By the way, I'm joking. I don't want to know penis average size. I just asked Nikki.
I wouldn't know.
She didn't get mad. I thought
Should
you
we just do it for the?
I thought you were going to get
just for
mad at
the
that,
US?
Nikki. Yeah.
Just for US? Okay.
No, I don't need you to look it up. I don't want to know. I was just joking. I was just trying to tell a joke to get Nikki angry, and it didn't work.
Oh my God. That can't
6
be right.
inches,
That can't be right.
Oh, here we go.
4 inches.
Dorn, I don't want to know. I don't want to.
I do.
I don't want to spend the
my
rest of my
goodness.
day upset
Yeah, we're
because
talking about this. Okay. hang
I
on.
don't want to
Let's
spend the
pull
rest of my day
I want to
being.
hear what she has to say.
Oh boy,
this up. I love the picture. I love the picture with it.
there's a picture of a
Oh
schlong.
my!
Look at that. He's got his tape measure
Oh,
out.
for
Not
goodness
hilarious.
sakes!
Freaking hilarious.
China really skews the numbers, though. You don't want to include China in that.
Well, I just did US, and this was oh my goodness.
Why? I see. Now I'm going to spend the rest of my day. If I'm somehow beneath the number, it's just going to drive me nuts all day long. Not that I know my number.
Okay. According to this team's analysis, the average flaccid
Oh, for God's
penis.
sakes!
That can't be right. Oh, that's
Don't
right.
go flaccid.
I was looking at centimeters. I'm sorry. I had a stroke.
Okay. Well, because here's the deal. How would you find out? Do you just ask?
Wait, what
do
is
you
it in
ask?
centimeters? I want to feel good about myself.
9.16. That's what I was
Hell
like,
yeah.
Oh, dear Lord.
And I'm like, wait a minute, that's centimeters. I was like, woo!
I'm only going to measure
What's
myself.
that
I'm only going to
translate
measure
to?
myself in centimeters from now on.
So the average in inches is 3.61 inches in length. The
Oh,
average, oh my God. Oh, that's centimeters again. Whew, I got to start checking myself before.
Okay. So,
So
I get
Oh,
5.16 inches.
that's it. That's the average erect penis.
Average erect penis. Yep.
can I
Yep.
just say that on your computer now, on your computer, Wes, it's going to say that you were looking up average penis. You were
Yeah,
trying to find.
U.S. penis length average. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
great.
Mm,
Yeah. Yep.
Unbelievable.
Browsing mode.
Outliers are rare. A 6.3 inch erect penis falls into the 95th percentile out of 100. Only 5 would have a penis larger than the 6.3 inches.
Yep. Now she's all about the penises.
Mhm.
She was officially gone off the rails.
You're
Oh,
gonna get some weird Facebook ads.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what Wish is going to bring up.
Oh, God.
oh my God. Oh.
There you go. Should have never brought that up. Tommy says, do what Marvin did and tie a work boot. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Marvin took. Do you guys remember this? Marvin,
What did Marvin do? With
he
the
had
work boot
a
and
shoestring
okay.
and he tied the shoestring to his penis and a work boot. Because the bottom half of the shoestring was still connected to his work boot.
Oh my God.
And so
And
he would walk around, and I'm not joking. He would walk around with his penis dangling
From
and
his, oh my
basically carrying a work boot.
What?
And he claimed
Why?
Tommy's in the chat room. Marvin lived with Tommy. That was on the pregame show today. I played a bit where Marvin and Tommy were living together. And I'm telling you, Marvin would connect his penis to a work boot. All right?
He's trying to make it longer.
Yes.
Trying to stretch it out? Like,
That was his plan. His plan was
oh Lord.
to stretch his flaccid penis so it would look more impressive to the ladies. That's what he would do. He would stretch. And Terry's
Wouldn't that be painful? I mean, I don't have a penis, so I don't know how these things work. But would that not be terribly
you can
uncomfortable?
have one anytime you want.
I-
All you
That's not what I
have to
mean.
do is
I mean, like,
ask. I'm sure you could get
connected to my
plenty of
body,
them.
not inserted.
Oh, okay.
Connected. That's what I meant. But wouldn't that be terribly
Science has come a
painful?
long way.
Has Marvin ever been studied by a psychologist?
Oh, he's
Oh, I'm sure.
yeah.
Quite certain.
And I haven't talked to him forever. I don't know if he's still tying his penis to a work boot. I would be very interested if he was, but I haven't talked to him in a long time. But his whole thing was stretching his penis. That was his whole thing.
Did you get a before and after shot?
No, I didn't. I never wanted to see it.
No,
But I know that we sent Mikey. I know that Mikey went to for the mobile unit, he would go to his house. And the first time we heard it was Mikey and I can't remember who was with him. They went to Marvin's house to pick him up for a mobile unit bid. And he answered the door and that's what he was doing. And Marvin was standing there with a work boot tied to his penis. I'm not making this up either. This is 100% what was going on. And he was acting like it was completely normal.
There's nothing. Nothing's normal about that. Not even remotely normal.
He was acting like it was completely fine that he had a penis, or that his penis was tied to a work boot. Oh, and Tommy says that Marvin did it when Marvin lived with him. Oh my God. That's what he did. And I never saw the man's penis. I don't know what his penis laid. I try not to look at other men's penises.
Well, I got
Terry, by the way, Terry was in the chat room saying he's seen a lot. A lot. Terry, how's your husband feel about you seeing a lot of penises? I know that, like my wife, if my wife jumped to the chat room and said, well, I've seen a lot of penises, and I would not, I would feel a little, I would not feel that good.
Did he use a steel-toed boot for the extra weight? Or?
Oh my
God. I don't know if it was steel-toed or what the whole process of the boot was.
I'm not taking notes. It's not like I'm going to try it or anything.
The key is,
just curious.
I do remember him telling Mikey the key is the shoestring.
The shoes. What difference would the shoestring?
I don't want to know.
Whether it was like a rawhide lace.
And I know there was a problem. I know there was a problem one time where like his penis had turned purple or something. It was because he was cutting off blood flow to something.
Oh dear.
But I don't remember all of it. I just remember that we did a bit on the air. But for pretty much the entire duration of the show, he would still do this, He would still do his penis trick in hopes of stretching it. I don't know if it worked or not. I'm not recommending it to anyone.
The research on that would be.
Yeah. I'd have to research stretching of the penis to see if that worked.
The work boot method.
Mm-hmm. I guess I'd have to get work boots.
I suppose.
Which I don't
steel
have.
Steel-toed or not, maybe you start out with a normal work boot, work up to the steel-toed. It's like lifting weights. You don't go heavy. Don't go heavy right off the bat.
Tommy says the longer the string, the longer the thing. Yeah, I don't know. You can't stretch your ding if you don't have some string. Do-bop, 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 do-bop. All I know is this was Marvin's plan, was stretching his wang with a piece of string and a work boot.
Fabulous.
That's how he did it. So any ladies out there that hooked up with him, if it worked or not.
Might have to take a poll. Look these ladies up and see who was dating them before.
Do you really want to talk? Do you really want to talk to anyone that
not really
hooked up with Marvin?
I don't.
Are those conversations we really want to have?
It would be the only way to get the proper,
the
proper amount of information for, the research. But
do you really?
I don't want to do that.
Let's take a vote. Nikki, you want to have conversations with girls who actually slept with Marvin?
No.
Nick, do we want to have conversations with girls that actually slept with Marvin? Wes, do you want to have conversations with girls that actually slept with Marvin?
No, not particularly. No.
I would say no too. So we're already a majority.
All right. So
sorry, Jordan. I'm sorry you didn't even get to vote. Unbelievable. Yeah. So that's what he would do. But he
that had to have been disastrous for his girth game, though. And isn't girth the most important?
Well, we were talking about I believe that there was mention of girth not that long ago on the show.
Yes.
I wonder how he's worked out the girth issue. How he,
I don't know how that would work.
I don't.
He might be a candidate for one of those experimental surgeries that we came up with.
Yes.
the removal of the fupa fat and
Yes.
inject it into the sides of the penis. to
Yes.
give
You
birth.
you take the fupa
Yeah.
and
Take your fupa fat,
use it to increase the girth.
move it into the penis. Yeah.
Oh my God. So, Tommy, did Marvin claim it worked? If Tommy's still in the chat room, did he?
Well, yeah.
Did he claim it worked? Is that why he continuously did it? Wouldn't it be something if it turns out Marvin was actually right? Society has been trying to figure out how to
Naturally, yeah.
yeah, how to elongate a man's penis forever. Like you talk about right now the vaccine for COVID's got to be the one thing that companies are trying to make, but the golden goose is number one got to be a pill that actually would grow a man's hair. Wouldn't you say, Dorn?
Mhm.
That's got to be.
Yeah, I think that would probably really close to the top, if not the number one thing.
You figure they're trying to make a product that would have a man's hair grow back if he's going bald.
Well, there's topical products, and but as once you stop using them,
yeah,
your results either go backwards or they
But
don't improve at all.
I would think the golden goose would be penis size. Here's a pill that will actually work. Would actually work in order to grow your penis.
But they have those, Ray. I see them next
No,
to the
no,
cash register at the gas
Yeah,
station.
those don't work. I know this comes as a shock and
Oh,
surprise
Oh,
but-
how would you know they don't work?
because I'm smart. Because if they did create a pill that actually lengthened your penis, they sure as hell wouldn't be selling it in a gas station. That's what I'm saying. If you think creating the vaccine is the big money maker, no. The big money maker is a pill that actually will increase your penis size. Wouldn't it be something if it turns out, all these years later, Christ comes down from heaven again, and he gives an interview to 60 Minutes. And they say, Jesus, or baby Jesus, whichever one he
Whichever
is.
Jesus
Yeah,
you want, yes.
Whichever Jesus is the second coming. They say, Jesus, mankind has been looking for solutions for something for years. Oh, what is it? Well, what does mankind want to know? Is it a vaccine for COVID or cancer? No. We want to know how we lengthen our penises. And then Jesus says, oh, that's easy. All you need is a work boot and a shoestring.
Just tie a boot to it, my son.
How many people would go, holy shit, I should have just listened to Marvin. If I would have listened to Marvin, I would have known that is the secret to lengthening a penis. Good morning. You're on Morning Disaster.
Good morning, Ray. It's Tommy.
Oh, hey, Tommy. How are you? See what conversation you got us going into.
Yeah, way to go, man.
I'm terribly sorry, but I mean, you had to live here for a year with Marvin to understand the things that I had seen.
So he walked around with the boot, the work boot tied to his penis all the time. And
It was like every morning.
Did he say it worked?
Well, of course. I mean, that would be why he kept doing it, I would think. I mean, I would go down. He lived in the basement, and he would yell up, "Can you put the damn cat away? Because the cat keeps jumping and hanging from the boot."
I'm just bewildered by this whole thing. Tommy, get a tape measure.
He never has to do any of that stuff, but I mean, he would literally do his chores with a work boot tied, like make his bed, clean up.
So
And it was very
part of his
bizarre
morning
because I'd
ritual?
take a load of laundry down and I'm like, good God, Marvin, would you put that freaking thing away?
It's just bizarre. It's
Did he ever have people lace his boots up as a prank?
I swear,
Let me out down there. I can't bend over. Loose him up.
God.
if EJ knew that his drum stool had been used by Marvin.
It's unbelievable. I just find
Oh.
it's so bizarre that he would.
I
do
came
that.
home from work one day, and he's in my kitchen, standing on a chair with an older lady, giving him a tuggy.
Why
And he
is
just looked at me like, and he looked at me straight in the face and goes, "Do you really have to come home now, Tommy?"
Wait a minute. What was he? He was sitting in the
He
chair.
was standing on a kitchen chair, like at my table. But he
Why-
was standing on it with his pants down around his ankles,
Why
and
would-
some older woman giving him a tuggy.
Why was he standing on a chair?
I never bothered to ask. I just walked
Oh,
right
I
back
have
out of
an
the house
idea.
and took a little drive.
He didn't want the boot dragging the floor.
Why wouldn't he be sitting?
I don't even.
And
wanna
why
say
was it in
out
front of
loud.
an open window? I don't know.
So
He
he had
wanted the neighbors to see.
he's a pervert. He was a pervert. I 100% believe that. And the woman, where did he find this woman?
One of the, it used to be HUD's, the Hangout, Unwind and Dance Club. You guys played there a few times.
Yeah,
It was over there by
the
the Lincoln
biker
Cabs,
bar.
I think.
it was a biker bar.
Yes, the biker bar.
And that's where he found her.
Yep.
And he brought her to your house
Uh-huh.
where he proceeded to stand on a chair
In my kitchen.
and have her give him a handy
Yep.
while he was standing on the chair.
Furry boots. The whole Marvin get out.
That's
He
why
was
would
wearing his furry boots.
Doran, say
What?
I know you got a boyfriend now, but let's go back to when you were single. Say you hook up with some guy and
Okay.
he says, "You want to come over to my house?" You're like, "Okay." And he says, and you guys are getting romantic and hot and heavy, whatever. He goes, "All right, let's have some sex." And you're like, "Okay." He goes, "But hold on. First, I have to stand on this chair." What the hell would you do?
I would want to know why, and especially if it was in front. Well, if it was in front of an open window, then I would know why because he wants somebody to see.
Yeah, that's probably. I think that's probably what was going on.
But if he would stand on a chair, that means that I would be eye to eye. Do you know what I mean?
Eye to one eye.
My eyes would be right in line with the eye, and I'm thinking part of the whole, his idea of kind of a fantasy would be, I'm just gonna say it. Take a hot load to the face. All right, I said it.
Is that what he was trying to do?
I think that's the first thing I thought of. Why in the hell else?
So would you go through with it or would you leave?
Oh hell no! I said, get off the chair, you fucking freak. I
Yeah.
mean, we're gonna do this like normal, half-ass normal people.
Or we're not gonna
No.
do it, right?
No.
Nikki,
No.
would
What
you?
part of Marvin dressed like that did you think you were going to get normal anyway?
Well,
I-
Nikki, would you go through with anything like that?
No.
I'm just asking the girls on the show because I just,
No.
there's no way in hell.
No, that's just odd. I want to know if he paid her. You think he paid her? He had to pay her.
Why would you
Okay.
want?
I know there was drugs involved.
Oh
Who-
well, there you go.
Who would want? Whose kink would be? I want to stand up on a chair while while I'm taken care of. Yeah.
Marvin. Because I'm telling you,
Oh,
that's
he's
immediately what
old.
popped into my head.
I want
What,
everyone
Nikki?
to see.
I said he's old. He could have fallen and broken his hip.
Yes, he could have.
You have to admire the man's balancing skills. My God.
There's one thing you can say about Marvin. He had good balance.
Oh God.
Good Lord. Mr. Miyagi never taught Daniel-san that one. How bizarre.
Oh,
There was a lot of bizarre that happened around here.
Oh, thanks, Tommy. That's fantastic.
but that's immediately where my mind went.
So I
Yeah.
guess it worked.
Apparently.
Maybe lacing Using a shoelace and tying your penis to your work boot will actually increase your penis size, according to Marvin and Tommy. Tommy would have seen it. Is the
Poor
boot
Tommy.
is the boot hanging lower now than it was last week? Because that's how you know it works. And Terry put something in the chat room, and I gotta rewind. And find it.
Yeah, I know. I read that as well.
He was saying the stretching of the penis usually stretches the muscles that are behind the base of the penis. Sometimes you can also get that cut or shortened to allow more flaccid penis or hard. So they will cut the muscle,
Well, you're
Yeah.
stretching it out,
and that's so
or you just cut it.
how bizarre.
Supposedly that only gives you like an extra inch, half an inch to an inch. so
You've
I don't
heard
think
of
it's worth
this?
it.
You've heard of this procedure?
Yeah.
You get
Not like I've looked into it, but I've heard about it. Yeah.
you seem to know a lot. You seem like some study has gone into this.
No.
So Kathy in the chat room says she was asking about Marvin because Kathy, you got to remember, Kathy just started listening to us on this show. She doesn't remember the old Morning Disaster, so she doesn't know Marvin. So she
Right.
wanted to know. She goes, "Is Marvin somehow related to HBJ? You know, Hillbilly Joe." Hillbilly Joe's wife, his ex-wife, called me last week and said, "Hey, have you got time on Monday? I guess she wants to get on the show today to refute something that Joe had said." And I don't remember all that Joe had said last week because Joe says so much. There's always
It's hard to
every
keep
phone
up.
every phone call is filled with so much shit. Every show, every time he's on is filled with so much material. I don't remember everything he says. So Kitty, his ex-wife, wanted to call in today. So Kitty, whenever you want, call in. The phone lines are open. Hello, you're
It's
on
going
the
to be
Morning
like a
Disaster.
Vietnam War story.
Yes, filled with a lot of PTSD and the like. Hello, Kitty.
Hi, Ray. How are you?
I am good. So you said you had to refute something that Joe had said. So go right ahead.
All righty. Well, first off, I want to see where he gets in the hell that I would steal any freaking tie from that fat motherfucker.
All right. So wait, you're.
There we go.
I do remember him saying last week that because he got married last week, and I said, "Why don't you wear a tie?" And he said, "My ex-old lady stole all my ties," which, by the way, I find hard to believe that he had a bunch of ties to steal. Number two, why in the hell would you steal them? You're saying that there was no theft of ties.
Well, he had ties, but of course he didn't pay for them, just like he didn't pay for his wedding here recently that he did. Couple of the ties he got from missionaries that had left, and then he had a bag of ties that got from a yard sale that is our one son bought for him.
Uh-huh.
And I also heard about, quote, I stole his false teeth too. That's another thing. What the fuck would I do with his teeth? If I'm going to do anything, his teeth and HBJ would be thrown into a big pit.
Yeah, you're right. He did also claim that you stole his fake teeth. Did you steal his false? Why did you steal the man's false teeth?
Oh my God. Fuck, Ray. Why in the hell would I do that? Are you serious right now?
Of course not.
Oh my God. I am telling you what, that man's mouth is so full of freaking lies, it's pathetic.
But
Let me tell you what happened.
Okay. What happened?
That's
Okay.
the real story.
All right. 95% of the stuff was still left there in the house, minus a few movies that I took, my pictures, and a few clothing. Everything else was left in there for that fat son of a bitch.
Yeah.
What happened to the stuff is that the landlords of the place decided to get a dumpster And my daughter had even called me and told me about it because she asked for our younger son to help so he could help throw the crap in the garbage.
Oh.
And Joe's his one son from his first wife was over there helping too. So all that stuff ended up in the dumpster. So he needs to just start shutting his fucking mouth.
So you
Or I
didn't.
really start.
So you're saying you didn't steal anything? It was
No.
thrown in the dumpster.
And anyways, why would I steal anything anyways when I bought 95% of everything that was in that house, along with our son was helped bought everything in that house.
The one thing that I thought was weird was when he was claiming his teeth were stolen. I was like, why weren't they in your mouth? If you got false teeth, why in the hell are your false teeth just out so someone can steal them? You would think you would have them in your mouth.
Exactly. Well, he got them, and they just sat in his drawer.
Mm-hmm. Well, he got new teeth because he sent me a picture of his new teeth. He looks good. And
my God!
By the way, Kitty, he got remarried, and they looked really happy. He and his wife, they looked beautiful. They looked really happy. It must have been a special
for now.
day.
Give it a week.
Are you happy for them?
Give it a week.
But are you? My question is,
no,
are you
I am
happy for them?
absolutely no. I don't give two shit what he does on his personal life. But that young girl, 22 years old, should have really thought about it. And I'm going to start spilling the truth here, since Mr. Fat Ass wants to start running his mouth lying about shit. And I have proof on a lot of this stuff too. First off, that girl that he married, she needs to worry about getting her child back from foster care than marrying an almost 50-year-old man that's trying to have another baby with her.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I advise against having another baby, but what?
I
Kelly's
highly advise
girlfriends
that
look
too.
really happy on camera too.
What was that?
R. Kelly's girlfriends look happy on camera.
I'm saying their wedding photo was very nice. His wife looked beautiful. Joe looked really happy. I'm just saying, why can't we be happy for him? He got married. Why can't we just be happy that he got?
Yeah, he got married. I was married to him for 20 years. Oh my God!
But were you happy?
That's what.
The day you got married, you had to be happy.
Getting married on a front porch, oh yeah, that was real happiness right there.
So I'm not gonna get you to say anything nice about Joe. There's got to be. Come on, there's got to be.
No, there's not.
You were married to him for a while. You were married.
Just because I was married to him doesn't mean there's one nice thing about Joe. Absolutely not. And then he's going to use the church that he has not gone to in over a year for, let's see, a free wedding dress, cake, dress clothes. Why? Because the motherfucker can't afford anything himself.
Yeah,
maybe he found Jesus.
Yeah, maybe he did. Maybe
he
Jesus
found Jesus. Yeah, okay.
And then after Jesus told him about the work boot,
before I left to Chicago, he stopped going to church because I don't feel like doing anything anymore. So he decides to sit in his little recliner watching television, acting like a zombie and a big baby. So then I quit going because I felt like I had to sit there and babysit his ass.
So you can't be happy for him for one day.
Fuck no. No, the day that I'm happy for him is the day that he's 6 feet in the ground.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
Bitterness.
Yeah.
But I can tell you one good thing about Joe.
Yeah.
There's no way that he owns a pair of work boots. So
that's damn true.
But Kitty, I mean, come on.
Oh my God.
You guys had kids. I mean, there's got to be some.
Yeah, just because we had kids, that was the highlight of my life, is just the kids.
There's got to be.
When it came to him, no.
There's got to be some bit of happiness. I just
no.
Find that,
I don't think. Ray, I don't
Our
think
wedding night
at all.
consisted of him getting drunk and sleeping on the damn floor watching Batman before he fell asleep. That's our wedding night.
Well, he was claiming
the first week went downhill.
He was claiming his wedding night this time was going to be, except I think he said he was going to have his wife wear a ball gag or something, which I thought was
I
weird.
listened to that. Yeah, she did. Yeah, he's talking about that right now on their wedding night.
Mm-hmm.
Get ready, girl, because it's going to get a lot worse from here.
Well, there you go.
But there's another thing I want to bring up. This so-called cousin.
Yeah. The cousin.
Yeah, I listened to that. That is not his real cousin. The story on that is from what he told me when she was younger. A family member bought her from a judge. So pretty much she kind of grew up as a cousin, but she's really not a cousin. And you need to ask him about when he told me while I was at work that he screwed her in our son's bed.
Well, but it wasn't even incest if she's not really his cousin.
He's assuming it's his cousin.
Well, but I'm
So
saying.
even if you assume that's somebody's family, you still shouldn't be touching it.
But I'm saying he technically was not lying then when he says he didn't have sex with his cousin.
But she
In
was
my
raised
eyes,
as
just
a
like stepchildren. To me, they're not they're considered children. If you recognize somebody at a very young age as a family member, to me, they're a family member, blood or not. So you should have no reason to be touching any part of their body.
When are you going to
That's my theory.
When will you send your ex-husband an apology letter for this phone call?
Fuck that.
When are you going to get married again, Kitty?
He's going to expect one, you know.
When are you going to get married again?
It may be sometime next year. At least I'm waiting a while and stuff and enjoying our life with our daughter, because I consider her my daughter too, 6-year-old, very beautiful little girl and stuff. But the reason why Joe jumping into things and stuff, now you're married to me. Now you're my property. Now you're going to do as I say.
Can't you just accept
because
maybe he loves her. Maybe she loves him. Maybe they're just going to be happy.
No, she's delusional. What she needs to love is getting her baby back, not being worried to being married to this fat ass that has no job.
Good Lord. Well, I was thinking you're going to call in and wish Joe luck and wish him well in his. I thought that's what the phone call was. I had no idea it was.
Absolutely not, Ray. I think you're delusional. I'm sorry, I love you, but I think you're delusional. Because there is no way in hell that I would sit there and wish that man luck on anything but probably breaking his damn leg.
I was thinking we were going to get something nice. I thought it was going to be a good.
Not for Hillbilly Joe.
I thought it was going to be a nice phone call. That's all.
Oh, no. And I'm telling you, there's a lot more out there that even my daughter has copies of, that if people want to know the truth about things and stuff like that. Yeah, just wait. Let him keep playing those games and making these lies about me.
He doesn't say anything too bad about you.
Oh, yeah, okay. Calling me a dumb bitch and a fat cow and, oh, yeah, those are just lovely words, Ray.
Well, you know, you just need to get, I don't know what your current situation is, but, you know, get yourself looking. Listen, you don't want to know what Jim the photographer used to say? Jim used to say, the best revenge is living well.
Oh, and I am living well. I am living 100% better.
Live well.
But I also, and I've learned not to cry over his nonsense anymore. Mm-hmm. The bad thing of it is I still have to talk to a counselor because of his ass.
Right.
But I've learned, you know, trying to push all that past behind me.
Yeah.
But when he still keeps opening up his mouth, that don't help matters. But I'm going to start stepping up for myself. And, you know, he don't like that. That's the thing about narcissists. Once you leave them, they still think they're control over you and stuff. And he's not.
Well, one of these days, maybe.
Does banjo music trigger your PTSD?
But just seeing a picture of that badass triggers my PTSD. All my pictures, I say some gave them to my daughter. If the boys want them, they can have them and stuff. But any other pictures that I have, I cut his ass out of them and I threw them in the fire at my daughter's before I left here to Texas.
One of these days, I'm going to get you on. You're going to say something nice about him.
No, I'm not.
I'm just saying, one of these days.
Nope.
Maybe.
You can't pay me $1 million to say anything nice about that man. Rest in peace, motherfucker. That's about the only thing nice I'm going to say about him.
I always thought you guys, really loved each other. I mean, the
No,
whole
it's
time.
called a mask, Ray. He throws on this good guy act when he's in front of people, but then behind closed doors, it's totally different.
When?
Same thing with me and stuff. I had to put this mask on that I'm so happy with Hillbilly Joe, and I was not. I sincerely was not. And the same thing's going to happen to this poor little girl that he got married to, and I feel sorry for her. She should have ran really fast.
All right. Who kept all the videotapes of the sex?
Oh my God, Ray! Really, you have to go there.
I'm just asking.
I threw a lot of them in the fire, but I guarantee he probably kept some himself, anyways, because I couldn't get to them all because I couldn't stand being in that house after I came back.
How do you know that?
Filing for the divorce, and the whole bedroom and everything was filled with bed bugs.
I'm saying that maybe, maybe he's using those videos. I'm probably not now. He just got married, but I'm saying maybe.
That don't mean anything. He's going to start making her. I guarantee it. Eventually, there's going to be another profile on Adult Friend Finder, and he's going to start making her sleep around too. And then, boy, your ratings are really going to go up again because now she's going to be part of this videos and taking pictures, and he's going to sit there and tell his sex life about her with you all too.
Well, I don't know, but I'm just wondering. I just want to know who kept them. That's all.
I'm sure he kept some. He hid some just for the fact that he's infatuated with me.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying it's got to feel nice that maybe he's still
getting
turned on watching you. All right.
Okay. Him turned on by that. You want to hear something? And my daughter has proof of this because I sent her all the screenshots. When I moved down here on my other phone, his name was still logged in Facebook. You want to hear about some nasty stuff that he's turned on about? Let's see. I don't remember anybody, if they remember this woman by the name of Lucy or Lucille and stuff. Well, I started reading some of the conversations, and he was having sexual conversations about her being in a diaper.
What?
Yes. On top of bringing up about having relations with a dog and stuff. And I'm telling you, I screenshotted that. No, I'm serious. I screenshotted that. Ray Lytle, I'm serious. If you're friends with my daughter, she can send you all that information.
I don't know if I'm friends with your daughter.
No,
I don't want to see that information.
He is disgusting. I'm telling you.
I'm not going to get you to say anything nice about him today.
Fuck no. I got a whole lot more stuff if anybody's interested.
So let's
talk to my daughter on Facebook.
So let me wrap it up. You did not steal his false teeth.
Fuck no.
You did not steal his ties.
Fuck no, because I'd strangle his ass with him if I'm going to do anything with his ties.
You are not.
Go on.
You're not happy for him and his new wife.
Fuck no.
All right. And you're not at least a little bit turned on by the fact that he's still turned on by you.
Oh my God, fucking no.
No, I don't think
absolutely not.
All right.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Wes.
Where is this poor dog?
Where is this poor dog? I have no idea, but one last thing, Ray. That's another thing. Speaking of dogs, he insists, first of all, that the judge gave him our dog, for possession. Number one, the divorce did not last that long for the judge to award anybody anything, and my daughter was in the courtroom too. How about you sit there and ask him about why I took the dog to Texas? Because he was leaving it alone 3 to 4 days at a time so he could go to his supposed cousin's house because the neighbors got a hold of me.
That's neglect.
That was the cousin he was having sex with.
Yes.
All right.
I'd go there. The van would be in the driveway. I went there the first time with one of my nieces to get a little bit of my stuff. Mm-hmm. The poor dog, there was no air conditioning on. There was no food or water in there. And I got pictures of my dog to prove how hot and exhausted and how horrible he looked being in that house.
Aww.
So he's a woman abuser. He's an animal abuser.
Well, they go hand in hand.
We're not.
And
so,
a family abuser.
So you can't have me say anything nice about that
Well,
man
I was hoping that-
whatsoever. So
I was
I'm
hoping
waiting
this
for
would be-
his retaliation
I
because I'm
was
going to
hoping-
retaliate right back.
I was hoping this was going to be the phone call where we actually heard something nice. Oh, well.
Absolutely not. You tell me he dies, it's going to be the most happiest day of my life.
So when he eventually dies, you would just want me to call you on that day.
Yeah, would you please?
All right. Hey, it's Kitty, everybody.
I love you all.
Love
Bye,
you too.
Love
Doran.
you, Kitty.
Bye, Ray.
Hi, sweetheart.
Bye, Wes.
Thank you for your service.
Like a West Streets like a war veteran.
Give that woman a medal.
Uh,
Good Lord.
I was hoping this was going to be the time we heard something nice about.
I don't. You're never gonna get her to
That's
say
never
anything.
gonna happen.
Never
Really?
gonna happen.
Because I think
Never gonna happen.
I, in all seriousness, I like Joe.
Why?
I don't know. I just like him. I like Kitty too. I always like them. I just like them. I always root for the best. What can I say? Like when I like somebody, I think good thoughts about them.
You ain't right in the head.
No, but-
I mean, you just told a bunch of secrets to Wes thinking it was Nick, and now you like HCJ. You just ain't right in the head.
Did something happen to you over the weekend, Ray? I mean, did you get
No.
too hot or something?
No, I'm just
Right.
I just the way I
Or
am.
heat stroke?
I like to
Something-
think the best thoughts of someone. That's how I am. I'm
Some people don't deserve it.
Very optimistic you are.
I go through life hoping for I just go through life hoping for these things. What can I say? I say I forgive and forget and move on, and I laugh. And one of these days, I'm going to get Kitty to say something good about Joe.
I don't know.
I wouldn't push it.
One of these days. That's one of these days it's going to happen. Wes, did it feel good being back on?
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you see, guys, I told you that Ad and Wes is gonna be good. One of these days, we're gonna get you on Zoom.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out this morning. I just got to mess with it.
Yeah, just download the Zoom program onto your laptop, all right? And then when I
Mhm.
send the link out, just click on the link.
Okay.
And you don't need to. We don't put any of our sound through Zoom. The sound goes through this program you're on now, but the video only goes on Zoom.
Okay.
And then you'll be fine. Everybody in the chat room says that it's not going to happen either.
No. There's no way.
I like Joe. I like Kitty. I don't think they're bad or evil people. I just don't. Maybe I'm wrong. And there have been times where people go to me that tell me, don't trust Joe, don't like Joe. Joe is a horrible person. But I've always liked him. I've heard
Ray, I don't think Joe's cousins don't even have anything nice to say about him, and he's shown them lots of love.
I don't know. I like people and I want them to like each other. That's it. I'm just what can I say? I'm a lover. I like I like when people get along. I think I'm never ever going to get divorced, but I'm saying I think if I was divorced, I think I'd probably get along with my ex.
You
Right?
probably would.
Right? I mean,
Mhm.
Doran, you're friends with both of us. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you would definitely get along. I can't ever imagine any idea of why you two would ever divorce.
No,
That just
I
almost
would never
makes me
do it.
laugh.
I adore
I think-
my wife. I would never get divorced.
Yeah.
But
I don't think Deidre and Joe are in the same ballpark, Ray.
no, but I'm just saying that that's how I am. I think that I would like I'm never really if I have a friendship with someone, I never really it's like I never hate anybody, I've been angry with people before, and when I get angry, I just sort of cut them out of my life. It's to me they're dead, you know. But I never think bad thoughts about someone. You know, I would think I would still get along for the most part. I mean, I'm not like Nikki. Nikki gets mad at me and won't even talk to me for days at a time. But eventually we always, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Work it out. You always work it out.
Yeah, because you know, but because she knows that you know, and I'm just saying because you were mad at me. What were you mad? You were mad at me the other day for something, and then
I don't remember.
she tells me in Facebook. She goes, I'm mad at you, and I'm like, I had no idea why. And it was obvious. It was something that was obvious that I probably should have figured it out, but I didn't know because I just don't think along those lines. That's just how I am, I guess. I think there are people that are like me that are shocked when, like, I find out, like, so-and-so doesn't like you. And I go, what? They don't like me? Like, I'm shocked whenever I hear someone doesn't like me. Jordan, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. I have quite a lot of haters, and I'm like, what did I do to you?
Yeah.
You don't even know me.
Because in our minds, we have no idea
Yeah.
that someone dislikes us.
I had this conversation with my mother. Apparently, my mother doesn't like me right now. And I'm like, what did I do?
Why does
And
your
she's like,
mother
"Oh, you
not
know."
like you?
I'm like, she's even mad at my dogs. Like, she left here Friday, and I wasn't home from work yet. And my poor dogs were, you know, when they come back in from going outside, I give them a treat. I open the pantry. She always buys them a big box. She even took the damn dog treat because she didn't like how the dogs were treating her. So I don't know. I don't understand people. Not even my own family.
Yeah.
I don't think I care. So I'm good.
By the way, TJ said Nikki's a bad example. Nikki ends friendships over board games. We will get to that story tomorrow when Rocky's back on the show. We will get to the point of this story with Nikki and Rocky and Monopoly and
There's
the
not much
friendship.
to it.
Well, you're saying that. I want to hear Rocky's side of that story.
He's going to say that I was crying and being over dramatic, and I threw my stuff in the middle and left.
All right.
It is what it is.
I wonder if Rocky still talks about it,
Probably not.
I'm sure he'll bring it up.
or if he just forgot about it and moved on.
Oh, he doesn't forget
I've
anything.
moved on. I'm sure he moved on.
You're saying he didn't. He's moved on, but he hasn't forgotten it.
I don't know.
'Cause I'm not sure I would. You know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of stuff going on at the time.
I mean, I know with me there are things that I forget. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was talking to someone on Facebook, and they had sent me a message or something, and I didn't see it, and I finally replied, and then and it was someone that I had dated at one point, and I had completely forgot something that came up, and it took this girl reminding me. Well, it's because you blah, 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 blah. And I was like, did I do that? And she was like, yes. And I'm like, I don't remember that at all. You know what I mean? Just because I think we all do bad things, but, you know, we forget the bad things we do. Does that make any sense? We forget the bad things we do.
I think so. Or block it out. One of the two.
Yeah. And you're just like, I don't remember doing that. And then they're like, yeah, you did that. That's exactly what you did. That's all I'm saying. You know, maybe in Hillbilly Joe's mind, in his mind, he doesn't remember any of the bad things he did. He's probably like, well, I don't understand why Kitty's angry at me. I thought we had a great marriage, and I can't believe she's that mad at me. I mean, I'm just saying that. How do we know that's not the case?
We don't know, but there's always 3 versions: his, hers, and the truth.
Yeah. That's what I'm learning anyway. All right. Well, listen, we should probably wrap it up. It is 9:44. Let's thank our sponsors, Recontext. Proof is in the performance. Recontext 670-1132. That's 670-1132. It's time to get your car ready for a detail. Get that car cleaned up. And right now, if you get a detail, they're throwing in a free steam cleaning and disinfectant with every detail. DTE Technologies. Let DTE Technologies be your company's IT guy. It's DTE Technologies, 408-0001, and Core Installation, Furniture and Supply. Maybe you're listening to this show from a ratty chair and you need a better, more comfortable desk chair. Call Corey today and let her get one for you. She can get one, get it all put together and have it delivered to your house. You don't even have to see her. During this pandemic time, you won't even have to come in contact with any delivery people. They'll just leave it for you. Call her today, 741-1079. Right now, during the pandemic, she has masks, gloves, sanitizer, all that stuff available as well. Call Core Installation, Furniture and Supply, 741-1079. I want to thank our sponsors. This is the week we're actually starting to talk to sponsors. The way we've done it so far are all people who've come to me. The people that we have on the show right now are people that came to me wanting to advertise. We're going out and trying to find people right now. So if you know of someone that could benefit having the Morning Disaster talk about them, by all means, please let me know and we'll get them hooked up, or let them know and have them get hold of us. We will get it taken care of. Everything is reasonably priced, and because we're in the early stages, I'm hoping that we will have an announcement soon, and I think it's an announcement that a lot of people will like. Okay, we're hoping we're going to have an announcement soon. All right, and we'll see how it goes. All right, I don't want to give any hints of anything, but hopefully it will be coming. It will be coming soon. All right. The app is available for Android phones. You can have it right now if you're an Android user. Just go to the Google Play Store and download the Morning Disaster app. Hopefully, you iPhone users will have that same option soon once Apple pulls their heads out of their ass and accepts that Ray Lytle is the owner of Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster.
Who else would be?
Yeah. Once Apple figures that out, we will hopefully be up on the Apple Store. All right. No, Morning Disaster is not going. No, they're guessing that we're going to go on the radio. No, we're not. Look, listen, I'm done with regular radio, people. The Morning Disaster is the way to find the Morning Disaster is exactly how you find it. I'm done with radio. I don't see any regular radio in my future. All right. So stop guessing that that's not what's going on. I can tell you right now, I like the fact that we can talk about what we're talking about. I mean, let's face it. We did talk about penis size. How many MFers did Miss Kitty drop? I mean, this is stuff that we do.
She's blowing me out of the water these days.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like the freedom that we have now.
Exactly.
All right. I don't want the restrictions you get from radio, so that's not going to happen. That's not what the announcement has to do with. All right. So stop guessing that.
We don't need the FCC telling us that a 30-minute penis talk is not acceptable.
Yeah, absolutely. Wes, I know it took a botched phone call, but I'm very glad you're on the. I thought your lines were great today. Very good job. Thank you for being on. Nikki, congratulations.
On what?
I'm sorry you swallowed your mass. Mass wasn't short. Mass wasn't short for something, was it? I'm sorry you swallowed your mass, but at least you're okay. You didn't have to go through any surgery. Thank God for that. And Doran,
Yes.
you look good today.
Well, thanks.
You look like you're going golfing. Are you going
I'm
golfing?
not.
Oh,
I'm not. I've got to take the blue dog back to the vet for the follow up from when he was so sick. So.
Well, I hope you have a good day. You guys,
You
did I miss
too.
anybody? I know Nick's gone. Rocky will be back tomorrow to recap the Monopoly story. And we'll be back with another episode tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. And we will talk to you then. This is it for Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster on a Monday. We'll return tomorrow and talk to you guys then. All right? So long, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Later.
All right,
At Jim's house.
that is not the, hold on. That is
On
not,
Thanksgiving Day.
yeah. Sorry. So long, people.
Goodbye.
You better wake up, sleepyhead, and get your fat butt out of bed. There's a man who got up at 4 a.m. just to play you Zeppelin and Pearl Jam.
Are you rock hard? Yeah.
Raymond Lytle is his name. Some have called him just a bit insane. But you may find him a little idiotic. But his is the only morning show you can say has really got it. Slam the door, turn the key, get on the road now. With Central Illinois' morning way to get down. It's nasty, it's dirty, but it's funny, 'cause it's the Raymond Lytle's Morning Disaster. He's lewd, he's rude, he's crude, but it doesn't matter, 'cause he's the morning master of rock and roll and laughter. Raymond Lytle's Morning Disaster. Sean Bull and Scott, news and sports. Bodine's running down North Grand in his undershorts. Michelle will dwell on things colored pink and purple. They'll explain why Jim made a remake of that movie called The Black Hole. Slam the door, turn the key, get on the road now. The Central Illinois morning way to get down. It's nasty, it's dirty, but it's funny, 'cause it's the Raymond Lytle's Morning Disaster. He's lewd, he's rude, he's crude, but it doesn't matter, 'cause he's the morning master of rock and roll and laughter. Raymond Lytle's Morning Disaster.
That's going to be it for today, everybody. We're back tomorrow at 8 a.m. for another show. If you are listening to the audio-only feed, stick around. The replay will start almost immediately. If you're watching us on Facebook, then stick around. That replay will start again in just a little bit as well. If not, it will be on YouTube later on today, all right? And the podcast will be up very soon as well. So long, everybody.
Hey, kids, what time is it?